Well, a 20-day supply. Reports say that's all the diesel left in the United States.
Yeah, it doesn't include what's refined and imported daily. However, it is causing a lot of concern, especially from those who rely on it every single day.
Our digital reporter Josh Hoggard joins us now to take a closer look.
Yeah, that's right, guys. But like I promised, before we get into that, I have a pop quiz for y'all. You ready?
No.
I'm not ready.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
What two factors have the greatest effect on the price of something? You're going to want to think back to your high school economics class. Think about it.
How does this work? Do we have like a buzzer, like whoever buzzes in?
Okay, so this is very basic. I've got a pretty good idea.
Okay, let's hear it.
Well, supply
And demand.
Yeah.
Look at y'all, you got it right. I'm so proud of you.
Well, I mean, that is a very basic question.
Right.
I'm so proud of you. Yeah, okay, so that's it. Supply and demand. They are what caused that thing to happen. So basically, an oversimplification of it, demand moves in the same direction that that price moves, rather. Demand and price go the same way. However, supply and price go opposite ways. That means when supply decreases, price increases. Now, earlier this week, reports surfaced that the nation's supply of diesel had decreased tremendously. And according to some of those reports, the USA only has a 20-day supply. And that ripple effect of the national supply can be felt right here in Texoma. The cost of diesel is at an all-time high, and it's starting to hurt more than just the average American household.
What is happening though right now though, and it is a supply and demand issue, is we're seeing, historically high prices for diesel. Because there's limited refining capacity, we're having to pay $2.50 more a gallon than what we were a year and a half, 2 years ago.
John Burris is the director of transportation for the city of Wichita Falls. He said the city is starting to feel the effects of high prices too.
We use about 650,000 gallons of diesel per year, so it's critical that we have a good supply of diesel.
The city keeps about 40,000 gallons of diesel on hand at any given time to ensure they have enough to keep providing municipal services to their residents.
It's fire trucks, sanitation collection trucks, landfill equipment, a lot of our crew trucks, the guys that are working on water lines, all of our backhoes run on diesel.
But with just 20 days of diesel in reserve nationally and prices continuing to go up, what happens if our supply starts to dwindle in Wichita Falls?
Locally, it would be very, very painful. Very painful.
Burris said we're currently in good shape despite the national struggles, but he worries what might happen if the national supply falls to under 7 days.
It would have an extremely negative impact on our fuel supply budget for the city of Wichita Falls. At that point, I think we would start working not only with the city manager and city council, but our finance staff, and we would start looking at budget cuts, not just in fleet maintenance, but probably throughout the whole city.
And what about city services?
If we don't have diesel to run those trucks, well, all of a sudden we have garbage piling up out on people's curbs.
Thankfully, there is a plan in place in case the nightmare happens and we completely run out of diesel.
So our backup plan, believe it or not, is to use aviation fuel such as Jet A. It's a much higher refined product, and it is more expensive. But that has always been our plan B.
But until the national supply level of diesel improves, it looks like higher prices and a little bit of uncertainty are here to stay. Now, Burris and his team said they expect Americans to start feeling the pain of high diesel prices very soon, especially with the Christmas shopping season coming up. He predicts that if supply doesn't increase, the prices might go even higher, and they won't go away. I'll speak for everybody when I say, let's hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, Josh, thanks for making that understandable. Thank you very much.
You got it.
Stay with us. Sports is coming up right after this.